Thanks for keeping it here at Midday. We are taking your questions now for veterinarian Ryan Steen. We appreciate you being here today.
No problem.
And we're going to get things started with Catherine, who's on the line with a question. Go ahead, Catherine. Catherine, can you hear us? All right, we'll see if we can get Catherine on the phone a little later. First, though, introduce us to this little guy in your lap here.
This is Slinky. He's out at Cedar Rapids Animal Control, and he's a young Skipper Key mix, neutered male, so he's ready for a new home. He's a good traveler, they tell me. He's loves riding in cars and that kind of thing. So
That's
if you're a traveler, he's up for it.
By the way, he was perfectly calm until right when we started talking about him, then he got excited. This is his wave. Apparently, you said Cedar Rapids Animal Control?
Yep, people can just call Cedar Rapids Animal Control, and he couldn't be friendlier, you know. So he'd be a good companion for sure.
Fantastic. Well, as the weather warms up, or eventually warms up when we get out of this winter rut,
right.
We have some things we need to talk about when it comes to pets and their health.
Yep.
We talked last week a little bit about ticks coming back for the season, but also heartworm.
Right. Yeah, as it warms up, I mean that can be a year-round threat, but it certainly is much more common as it warms up and the mosquitoes get out. And so, you know, it's very, very easy to prevent with a monthly preventative. Usually there's multiple different forms, and they're often combined with, you know, with flea and tick preventatives. So, pretty simple to prevent. Not very simple to treat. Can be very dangerous to treat, and in some cases fatal. So, it's a good investment just to keep them on the heartworm preventative and prevent that from happening.
What's the difference between something you could pick up just, I don't even call it over the counter because I know that's not how it works, but what's the difference between something you can buy at your vet's office versus a cheaper version you could buy at a retailer?
From the standpoint of heartworm preventatives, you can't get anything over the counter because of the medications that are involved. But I'm going to let him go, his buddy there. For flea preventatives, the over-the-counter ones are typically pyrethrins and other insecticides that are typically fairly harsh and that kind of a thing, as opposed to a medication like fipronil, and there's others, selamectin and others that are much safer and much more controlled and much more effective. Also
allergies making a comeback for the year.
Yeah, we're going to be entering allergy season here shortly, and you know, the main symptoms people will see with that is if their dog, usually dogs, some cats, but usually dogs, will be licking or chewing at their feet, ear infections, shaking their head, scooting their rump around, that kind of a thing is a pretty typical sign.
And is that something you need to go to the vet for?
Yeah, there are some over-the-counter antihistamines that can be helpful, but and so it's certainly fine to try those, and you can talk with your veterinarian about appropriate dosages. So there are some over-the-counter remedies. Sometimes that is not strong enough to work, and then you got to look at some other options. All
right. Well, if you're interested in adopting Slinky, who slinked away just now, but he's back in the corner now, happy as can be, give Cedar Rapids Animal Control a call. And Ryan Steen, thanks so much for being with us today. And coming up tomorrow, we're going to take a closer look at the impact of gas prices with our financial expert. Stay with TV9. We'll be right back.